Hello, hello.
Well, I guess we're live, Conrad.
We're live. We're here.
How is everybody? Good, I hope.
I'll pull up our windows and share everything.
Well, it's been a while since we've been on, guys, and we just figured we'd get on and try to catch up with everything that's happening. As you all know, we lost our home to a fire, electrical fire. Um, it's been hard. If it wasn't for these kids helping every chance they get, we wouldn't be where we're at right now. Uh, Cleanup's been rough, especially going through everything that you've lost and all the memories with it. But we're still here, and that's what matters, right?
Absolutely.
And we had good friends of ours gave us a benefit at the Moose and Grayling, which was wonderful. We've seen a lot of people we hadn't seen in a long time. They served 100 and some plates of really good chicken Alfredo, and that was a really nice place to be. And then July 21st, we have another benefit coming up at Stony Acres in Linden from 1 to 8 p.m. It's going to be something else, I'll tell you that. I'm finding out more and more about it. We have live bands coming in, there's raffles, there's lots of food. The DJs from the radio stations, there's three of them coming. I think three. Might be another one. I'm not sure at this point. But I know 103.9 announced it, and he will be there, and I'm looking forward to that. He's a good guy, Dan. But I want you, if you can make it, I want you all to come out because it's open to everybody. I want everyone to come out and have a good time, and let's just all laugh and smile, okay? Because we all need that right now. Um,
Definitely.
we're waiting on the insurance company to see what steps we take next to go on. Jeff already tore off part of the house because we just couldn't take it anymore, and we had permission to do that. So now it's hurry and wait. Marie, where am I now, Donna? Oh, well, I am up north, Marie. I brought the dogs up here because they are not having a good time down there. Good friends lent us a camper to stay in on the property because we chose not to leave the property. And they're just not accustomed to being confined like that. And since the fire, they've been pretty jumpy, but they're much better with that. But they're up here having a good time. Right now, they're laying in the luxury of air conditioning, spoiled brats. But they're doing good. They love it when Sissy hits the door. And another person I really want to thank is Mitchell. Mitchell is there every night helping Jeff with whatever he can help with, and he's a godsend. He needs more ice cream. And Chelsea,
He'd probably
you
beg
need
to
to
differ
eat
on
this
that
I
one.
was
one.
gonna say, I think he would beg to differ.
I
He's
can
finding
already
out
hear it groaning now, like, oh my God, no ice
Yep,
cream.
that's what I heard as soon as she said it. Like, ah,
he's still getting used to the fact that we like to feed people.
and we
But yes,
fill all the
Marie,
cracks with ice cream.
I am in West Branch right now. I'll probably head back down in a day or two. So other than that, if anybody has any questions, shoot them out because we're willing to answer them. And if anybody has boxes they want to drop off at our place in Linden/Gaines, you're more than welcome to. So tonight we're supposed to talk about the Paris catacombs. And for those of you that don't really know anything about the catacombs over there, they were created back when they had no room to bury people. And they put the ones that were like less fortunate or no named 30 some feet under Paris. There's between 6 and 8 million remains in these caves. And there's been a lot of rumors about hauntings. There's a lot of people that have gone in and said that after midnight, you hear whispering, you can actually hear spirits trying to call you further into the tunnels. There's a lot of tunnels. I mean, to the point where a lot of people have gotten lost and died in there. So if you're not doing a tour, I don't recommend going in there alone. Do you guys know anything about them?
I know
a
you.
little about.
Yeah, you have to be kind of careful if you go over there for a tour and make sure you're getting an official one because people will break in and they have like parties and shit down there.
They filmed a shark movie there too.
A shark movie?
Oh yeah, I watched it.
Of course you did. It was probably a D- movie.
Oh, it was. It was great.
Yeah, probably.
It was great.
Mom likes to watch B movies,
No,
but
I'd give it a
love
C.
that they call them their D- movies.
I'd give it a C. It was
A
pretty good.
rubber shark.
If you
Listen,
give it a
you're
C, I'm giving it an
You're
E.
gonna watch gargoyles, and you're gonna like it.
You're gonna like it.
Absolutely not. Terrible movie.
No, it's not. You just weren't born in the 70s.
Correct.
Well, I do have a story about a ghost if you guys want to hear it.
Of course.
It's the ghost of Philbert Ospart. During the French Revolution, a man named Philbert, what a name, was a doorman at Val de Grace Hospital. On a mission to fetch a certain liquor from a cellar, he actually ended up entering the Paris catacombs by accident. Walking around the pitch black catacombs alone with just a single candle, he became lost and confused. Many believe he may have been intoxicated at the time. Unfortunately, his candle went out and everything turned black, making it impossible for him to escape the darkness of the catacombs. His body was only found 11 years later by a group of cataphiles. Those are the people that go into the catacombs, unintended. They identified him by the hospital key ring hanging from his belt. Aspart is buried in the catacombs in the exact place where he died, with a tombstone describing his death. Cataphiles and catacombs folklorists say that every November 3rd, his ghost haunts the labyrinth of the catacombs.
Good stuff.
They did find, I remember reading one story one time where they found a bunch of kids found a movie camera, video camera, just laying in one of the caverns. And they played it back and they literally figured out they were watching the person go insane. They never found out who it belonged to. They don't even know if he died in there because naturally the camera went dead. But could you imagine watching that?
No. But I could imagine it happening in there.
I could imagine it happening, and I think there's been movies like that.
Mm-hmm.
I know they've done like based off true events with the catacombs type movies a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Well, if you want, I can give you guys a little bit more history on the actual catacombs.
Absolutely, go for it, because I've had no time to look anything up.
They're old. It's AF.
They're old. You're ancient.
So the history starts in the late 18th century when major public health problems tied to the city's cemeteries led to the decision to transfer their contents to an underground site. Paris authorities chose an easily accessible site that was located outside of the capital, the former Tomb Histoire, I don't know if I said that right, quarries under the plain of Montreux, I don't know. I'm not French, forgive me. In operation since at least the 15th century. and then abandoned, these quarries were a small part of the labyrinth that extended under the city over approximately 800 acres, maybe? I don't know. Preparation of the site and the organization of bone transfers were entrusted to Charles Axel Guillemot, an inspector at the Department of General Quarry Inspection. The mission of this department had been founded April 4th, 1777 by Louis XVI. It was to consolidate the abandoned quarries following major collapses of the ground under Paris in the mid-18th century. So the first evacuations were made from 1785 to 1787 and concerned the largest cemetery in Paris, which had been closed in 1780 after consecutive use for nearly 10 centuries. 10 centuries, kids. How many years is that? Let's count.
1,000. When I read that earlier, oh my God, I was like, holy cow, all those bodies.
Right.
Well, they're
The
not
tombs
kidding. Said 6 to 8 million.
What they did with those remains, though, wow. Just saying.
I know, right? The tombs, common graves, and charnel house were emptied of their bones, which were transported at night to avoid hostile reactions from the Parisian population and the church. The bones were dumped into 2 quarry wells and then distributed and piled into the galleries by the workers. Transfers continued after the French Revolution until 1814 with the suppression of parochial cemeteries such as Saint Eustace. There's a bunch of names. They were begun again in 1840 during urban renovation by Louis Philippe and the Haussmannian reconfiguration of the city from 1859 to 1860. The site was consecrated as the Paris Municipal Ossuary on April 7th of 1786, and from that time forward took on the mythical name of catacombs in reference to the Roman catacombs, which had fascinated the public since their discovery. So starting in 1809, the catacombs were open to the public by appointment. A register was placed at the end of the circuit where visitors could write their impressions. It was filled very rapidly because these visits had quickly become a success with both the French and foreigners. As the years passed, the ossuary became the resting place of many illustrious individuals. In 1787, the Count of Artois, the future Charles X, visited the site in the company of a group of court ladies. In 1814, Francis I, the Austrian emperor, took a tour there, and in 1816, Napoleon III descended into the catacombs with his son. During the 19th century, visiting arrangements constantly changed from total open to monthly or quarterly openings. The Paris catacombs are now open to everyone without requiring an authorization and welcome nearly 550,000 visitors yearly. Apparently, I can't read today.
I would like to see it,
I would too.
but I'm just afraid of everything I would start feeling.
Well, that's what I'm curious about as well, is I want to know first-handed, like I can assume how they feel from afar, but being there in person, I want to know how the dead feels about this.
I wouldn't think they were happy, but
That was
hard to say.
Especially just like, we're just going to throw all your remains in a pile.
yeah, the heck with you. We'll just throw you in a hole.
And then we're going to rearrange you in a specific order on the wall,
Like a decoration. But, that makes me go into, if you really want to get technical here, it's like the Egyptian tombs and the people digging them up. That's a grave. Why are you putting these people in museums? Shouldn't they be buried and left alone?
Rest in peace.
I mean, am I wrong to think that way?
No, because we all think about
we all want peace.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm going to be powdery ash, I still want to be peaceful. Right?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be on display. Oh, look, here's Conrad's ashes. Let's snort them. I mean, come on.
Oh my gosh, that lady that ate all of her husband's ashes. Oh
What?
my gosh, yeah.
What?
Yeah, she got like addicted to eating his ashes and started like it brought her so much joy and like yeah,
She's crazy. She had a ding ding.
that's what that reminded me.
I did not hear about that.
Well, you could be like Al
Yikes.
Bundy. Remember when he used his barbecue grill?
Yeah.
No.
I want to be composted naturally, because I like plants and I want to become plant. So compost me, feed me to plant.
I'll feed you to the roots of a new tree. How about that?
Yes. Make sure it's endangered and protected. So then they can't cut it down.
You just got to make things more difficult, don't you? You know what, you guys? This makes me wonder, did Eddie make it?
Fair enough.
Huh? Eddie was in the living room. Did he make it? His ashes.
Oh. I don't know where he was.
Oh shit. He was on the shelf by the fireplace.
I don't know.
I guess I better make a phone call. Gee, see, everything reverts back, don't it?
It does. So there's actually a very interesting chronology on that excerpt that I read to you guys. It's on the official Catacombs website. And they have a really cool chronology listed about how the area came to be. So it started out 53 million years ago, end of sedimentation. Paris and the surrounding area are a vast swampy plain. 47 million years ago, the sea covers the north of France, which had been flattened by erosion, and start of the formation of the Lutetian banks. 1st century AD was the first open pit quarries. 14th century was the first underground quarries. 1774, the severe collapse of Rue d'Enfer-Rocher. 300 meters were swallowed up. September 15th, 1776, Louis XVI signs a decree that definitively prohibits extracting material from under public roads. April 4th, 1777, Louis XVI creates the Department of General Quarry Inspection, which is in charge of protecting Parisian quarries. 1780 is the closing of the Saints Innocents Cemetery. April 7th, 1786, benediction and consecration of the Tomb Assoir quarries, which become the municipal ossuary known as the Catacombs. 1787 through 1814, the transfer of bones from the parochial cemeteries of Paris. 1809 is the opening of the ossuary to the public. 1810 to 1814, rearrangement of the ossuary by Inspector Harry Card de Thury. 1860, last bone deposits following urban development undertaken by Haussmann. 2002, attachment of the catacombs to the Carnavalet Museum, History of Paris, which continues to promote the site. 2017, inauguration of the new exit and the bookstore boutique. And 2019, inauguration of the new entrance in the restored Ladeau House.
Okay.
Good stuff. And if anybody wants to make fun of me for how I French names, I had it coming because I can't pronounce them.
And you can go to their website and read them for yourself.
That's right.
Exactly.
That was where I was earlier reading, like refreshing myself on them, and it was nice because it was like that enough information to remind myself of the catacombs.
Mm-hmm.
So what else you guys got?
Well, anytime I think of the catacombs, I think of that horror movie, As Above, So Below.
Oh yeah.
Which is probably one of my favorite horror movies, only because I love how they did it. It was really good.
Now was that
but it
based
also
on
makes me kind of I mean, I'm sure there were like 0.05% facts in that movie, but I'm fairly certain 99.9% was bullshit. So, because it was just, but it was a cool movie.
Oh, that's awesome.
They're just Chelseaisms, we will call it. You are right.
Instead of Donnaisms.
Exactly. We have Donnaisms and Chelseaisms.
There's lots of isms.
Correct. Hi, Rhonda. Thanks for joining us. What are you guys looking at? You're so focused.
I was seeing if I could find one of the like articles I was looking at earlier because I was trying to find like myths and conspiracy legends behind the catacombs. And there was one that had more than one in it, and I can't find it now.
I gotcha. So there was a fun fact in 2004, French police discovered an underground movie theater. It contained a movie screen, a well-stocked bar, and a kitchen. Telephones and electricity were also brought in from an unknown location. We have to. I mean, there are areas of the Paris catacombs I think that they have blocked off for years, and they probably, because I know the public isn't allowed to access most of it.
Yeah, they're only a small portion of it is only accessible by the public.
Yeah, so a lot of people will seek out the cataphiles to take the illegal tours and get snuck in, but that poses a risk because of all the people that actually, there are homeless people that live down there. They have issues with drugs down there, so it's kind of a risk if you're going to go that route. I wouldn't recommend it, but teach their own.
You never know, walking around in the dark, sharp objects that somebody used around you, What's the risk? What's the risk?
Right, it's fine. It's fine. Now I know Mom's favorite person went down there and explored and made his own documentary. You want to take a guess on which of her favorite person?
No.
I feel like I watched that or part of it.
I mean, I watched it, but mainly because I just wanted to see the footage from the catacombs. That was about it. And he had like a few of his cameras stolen because people were, he was in the parts you weren't supposed to be in. So all these people wandering around were stealing his shit, which I thought was kind of funny. Like there's random footage of Zach Bagans floating around France, probably on the black market.
Ew.
Probably.
Thinking of paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I understand what's going on with Michigan Paragon, but I'm so sad.
I know. So for those of you that may not have heard the news, this very well could be the very last year for Michigan Paracon up in the Sioux. Mm-hmm. Brad Blair announced it a couple weeks ago, a week or so ago.
About a week ago.
Yeah.
They're just getting up there in age, and they've been going at it for 15 years, and it's time for them to end it. I guess no one stepped up yet to take over or anything, but I really don't know details. All I know is I wish them all the best because it's the best Paracon in Michigan.
Well, and the last I looked, it was the largest Paracon in the nation. I don't know if that still holds, but it's huge. But I'm sad Because we just started going 3 years ago.
It happens.
But I love it when you say they're getting up there in age. They're not old.
Well, honey, you know, a lot of it today too is you don't get the help that you need.
Mm-hmm.
And seriously, they're probably around my age.
Yeah, they're not old.
So that takes a toll on people, especially when you got another life to live, you know?
Mm-hmm. And I find that happens a lot in the paranormal field. A lot of people get tired because they're focused so much on the, death and the afterlife that they forget to live.
True, true.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget you're still here and they're over there.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it'll put you with them faster.
Boy,
Right.
isn't that the truth?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So is there any other fun things you want to talk about regarding the Paris catacombs?
I don't know. Do you guys got anything else you want to talk about the Paris catacombs?
I just want to see all the bones.
You just want to see all the bones?
I do.
I'm
There's lots of
slightly
pictures of mine.
intrigued about that. Granted, there are many cultures around the world that display the dead prominently, and proudly, and loudly like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the eeriness,
Hi, Rhonda.
you know?
Yeah.
I'm grateful you're going too, Rhonda.
Well, and it's crazy because if you venture down the rabbit hole and look up the different cultures that display bodies, it's insanity what you come up with. And then
All
there's
different
even
ways, too.
culture that digs up their dead relatives every year.
Yeah, and they party with them for 24
Yeah.
hours.
Don't they do that in New Orleans?
Not to my knowledge. Now there's the extreme embalming, which is more common in the South, like Louisiana, places like that, where they will embalm a body but put it in so they'll make it look like they're playing cards or drinking a beer. There was one guy, they placed him on his motorcycle. There's another guy that was a boxer, and they propped him up in the corner of a ring. So they will display the body as if the person's alive and partaking in the hobby that they loved. Oh, there was a young kid, I think he was in his early 20s, that had passed away, and they set his body up as if he was playing video games. And I think that one, they were able to have his eyes open. So it's really, really crazy what they do. And then family and friends can have their one last picture taken with their loved one.
I mean, think about back in the day when they used to take pictures with their stillborn infants or their child that just passed away.
Chelsea has a lot of those.
They look like they're alive.
Yeah.
Their eyes are open.
Them.
Typically, their eyes are open.
Yep.
They have makeup done.
Mm-hmm. The one of the biggest giveaway when you're looking at antique photos is they will color the cheeks rosy for the dead ones. And then if you look at old paintings, I can't remember exactly the year. They actually have some at the Flint Institute of Arts where there will be a painting of a child with like a coral or pink colored necklace that signified that child was dead. So they'll do something similar to that. Mm-hmm. Good stuff. There was one time, and I'm still kicking myself that I didn't get it. It was at the arcade antique store in Holly that unfortunately has since burned down. There was an antique photo of a dead woman propped up in a rocking chair. And I didn't buy it because it was like $35, and I really wish I did. It was gone the next time I went there.
That's another story that's just sadder than hell, and there's no reason for it as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Holly Hotel needs to reopen. And because of the butthead that bought the arcade property, it's not being allowed until it goes to court.
Of course.
It's just ridiculous.
Must be a corporate man.
Well, he's a relative to one of the board members or something in Holly, which I think is part of the reason why this is going on so long. But apparently the Holly Hotel is built over the lines of the arcade property by like inches. It's hundreds of years old. Don't you think it'd be grandfathered in?
It's hard to say. I don't know.
Don't property line shift.
It's just ridiculous. I agree with you, Rhonda. I would love to see Midwest Parafest grow, and I think it will. I mean, everyone loves going there. I look forward to going there. Oh, and Rhonda has a ghost child picture that she took at the antique store in Holly.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I believe, Rhonda, we still got to get you back on the show because of everything that happened. We missed your showing, didn't we, guys?
I think so.
And then Mitchell's neighbor owned a booth in the arcade. And funny enough, one of our dear friends, Dawn, who's been on the show, she said that there was original gingerbreading from her farmhouse that was in the arcade. And she knew because it was very, very particular.
Ornate.
Yes.
She pointed it out. And I believe it was from her house.
Yeah.
It's just sad. I mean, so sad. What do you do?
There's nothing you can do.
Nope.
I just can't believe people would want to prevent a historical site from being part of the community.
Exactly. It's like, this is ridiculous.
It's part of the community's history. It's, you know.
It brings a lot of people into that town.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but yeah. Yeah.
And it's
Chelsea,
a huge connection to that.
Chelsea and I were one of the first people to go to a seance up in the attic.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a good time. I recorded the entire seance and I still have it on.
Do you really?
Yeah, I still have it saved.
Oh, that's awesome.
I listened to it a few months ago. I'm like, oh, I forgot about that.
I want to go to one of those really bad.
We used to go all the time. There was a lovely older woman. I believe she's been passed away for quite a while now.
Marie?
I can't remember what her name was. She was the little old lady from Owasso.
Oh, no, that wasn't Marie.
I think her name was Kate.
Yep, she's passed away.
Yeah. We used to go to her house for seances all the time. And though that was some very intriguing,
intense
times. It was there was never anything negative. There was never anything bad that happened. We weren't summoning demons or anything like that. It was any time we went there, it was always very enlightening. People were always super positive, and I think that's the biggest part if you're gonna be doing something like that, is you just stay positive, you know.
Isn't she the one you seen the angels around during the seance?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because she was, I think she had the onset of dementia towards the end, because she'd get very confused and very upset. And once you'd get her talking, she'd come out of it. Reminded me a lot of Ona in the beginning stages.
Mm-hmm.
She was a sweetheart. And honestly, I still have a desk from her that is going to be restored. It was mostly smoke and water damaged.
Mm-hmm. Which
things to make it.
Which desk was it?
The little one that was in the dining room.
The secretary desk? Oh, that's where that came from.
Yep.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, Frank loaded it for me.
Yeah, that one, I was glad to see that one made it. All I'm saying, guys, as a side note, anything like that, a fire, if you think it can't happen to you, it absolutely can.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. So make sure you have your smoke detectors up to date. Make sure you don't have any loose wires anywhere. Get that stuff checked out because it can absolutely happen to anybody.
And it could happen anyway, like at our house.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like we had old wiring. It was all rewired when we moved in 33 years ago. God, that sounds like a long time, don't it?
It's really not.
It's not.
Oh, you poor old. But yeah, seriously. And check your insurance policies because I'm telling you right now, with the cost of everything since COVID, if you can raise it to the max.
Mm.
Because we're not going to get the house we had. I'll tell you that right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the neighbors down the street, I should say down a couple fields, if it wasn't for them pounding on my door, I wouldn't even known the house was burning. The wind was blowing the opposite direction, so it was blowing it away. And the way my farmhouse is set up, it's almost like a L shape, I would say, wouldn't you?
Yeah, more or less.
But they were pounding on the front door, and I opened it up thinking, okay, who is this? You know, and they're screaming, pounding on the windows and door, get out, get out. And I opened it up, and they're like, your house is on fire, get out. Scared the dogs. They ran to the back of the house. And I'm like, I'm not leaving without my dogs.
Yeah.
So I ran back there, and as I'm running back, I looked out the back window, and I could just see the smoke pouring out of the carport. And I went right into the back room and let the dogs out the back door. You couldn't smell nothing. You couldn't see nothing. I got them out in the pen. That was another story, but we finally got them out. But when I was out in the pen, the Jeep blew. All 4 tires blew out, scared the hell out of the dogs. That's why they're nuts right now. And then the fire went right through the roof, and 14 fire stations later, in 7 hours, it got put out. It was bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thankful they were pounding on my door, because God knows what would happen.
We are too.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't getting rid of me that fast. I'd have to
Good.
come back. Yeah.
And but my
have Chelsea-isms.
Yeah, so my favorite thing though, after it was the next day, the mom knows dad me. Mom had her Chucky, Tiffany, and Glenn dolls in the living room, staged on a shelf. Chucky was holding a knife. Tiffany had her brilliant smile, and Glenn was just Glenn. And they survived the fire. They had some smoke and water on them, you know. But Dad's like, yeah, these big tough firemen come in this house and they look at me and they say, "Oh, there's some scary fucking dolls."
Hey, it made everybody laugh. They said, they're really scary, no.
Yeah. Well, and you know, I couldn't help but laugh because the Chucky doll, his face was covered in soot, his hair was kind of everywhere, and he's just like, right? And I'm like, why is that more fitting than before? That's of all things to survive. Of course, Chucky can survive a house fire.
Right.
Well, all their clothes are soaking right now. I'm trying to get the smoke out of them.
I got nothing. It's just crazy.
So for Christmas, I might need new Chucky dolls.
Conrad, it's your turn.
We're not worrying about that. We'll probably be having Christmas at Chelsea's house this year.
That's fine.
But anyway, my wonderful friends that loaned us the camper, we actually went out and bought a fifth wheel. We're going to haul it down this weekend. Jeff is. Then he's got to get it set up. But it's a lot bigger, so we'll be happier. And it's 4 seasons. So once we put the roof over it, we'll be there all year until the house is built. Because they're saying 12 to 18 months. And if I can't take it, I'll be up here in West Branch.
I mean, it isn't. It's very nice.
I have no complaints, of that area.
Of West Branch, you better not. After all, I'm going to pull you in a hippie shack pretty soon.
Heck yeah.
Actually, the deer are starting to come up right now. They're going to be mad I didn't put corn out.
Yeah, you're supposed to be pre-prepping the venison.
It's for the turkeys. The turkeys love it. They're a bunch of whores, too.
Well, we know that.
My God, every time I look out there, there's like 30 babies. But I still feed them.
So what's worse, a turkey or a rabbit?
A turkey.
Or a cat. Cats are pretty bad, too.
Only if they're calicos.
I think we need to have a show about what animals are the worst whores.
We could do that.
Nana's version.
Kevin out here. He can be the first whore animal. Gonko, are you listening?
I'm gonna get an angry message later. You bitches.
Yes, we are. He had an amazing wedding, by the way.
Yes, he did. It was very fun.
And we have a lot of videos to blackmail him for years to come.
Yeah, blackmail him. He put him on his Facebook.
I know, he loved it. But it was cute. It really was. They had a good time.
They did. It was
and
wonderful.
Again, Dawn did a fabulous job. She's starting her balloon and flower business, and she came up here and decorated the whole hall for them. It was gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Woman's talented.
Yeah, she is. From celebrating the afterlife to just life.
Oh, and happy anniversary to her and her hubby.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 35 years.
Yes. That is right.
How long has Dad and I been together now?
A long time.
30. What year is it?
24.
38 years married, 40 years together.
That's a hot minute, yeah.
It's only a blip in time.
Wow, that's a long time in one person.
Yeah.
It's okay, I'll keep him.
I would hope so. Well, kids, do you have anything else to share?
He did bring me home another Jeep.
Oh, yeah, he did bring you home another Jeep, didn't he?
Yep.
Yes. And that was one thing that kind of blew my mind about the Jeep, because it was nothing but a metal frame.
Oh, it was gone.
It looked post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, like something out of a war zone. It was bizarre.
Even the wheels were burned off.
It was
it was borderline almost melting itself or turning to ash.
It was melted.
I shouldn't say it was beyond melting. It was almost turning to ash. That's how hot.
True story. And when the wrecker came to get it, that was a fiasco in itself, because no one talks to anybody anymore, I guess. But after we straightened that out, the guy loaded it. It fell into pieces when he was trying to load it. And then Jeff was coming home a day or two later, and he seen something in the ditch, and he turned around and he says, "Are you kidding me?" The door to my Jeep was in the ditch. So we're gonna hang it on the wall.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Good stuff.
The shortest lived vehicle I've ever owned.
No kidding. You've only had it for what? Maybe months?
Yeah.
Just short of a year.
Has it been that long? Oh.
10, 11 months, I know.
I was gonna say she got it after I moved to Ohio.
It was like, what, July or August I got it. Don't matter now.
She go. I know when we were looking at the remnants of what was not really left out of the inside, my dad pulls out this hunk of thing. And he's like, I cannot figure out what this was. And I'm looking at it, and it just looks like a giant, just melted puddle of something. And I flip it over, and it's like a yellow orange. And I'm like, Dad, this was rubber ducks. They all fused together into a giant plastic puddle. It was the rubber ducks.
Oh, my poor ducks.
Yeah.
Conrad brought me new duckies before I even had a Jeep.
Mm-hmm. Well, because they were for the old one.
Well, now they're in the new one.
I almost didn't bring them because I was like, oh, this is just like horrible.
I'm glad you did.
Me too, because now they have a home.
They do.
And
then poor Allison passed away that started the whole duck thing.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just something that had been around for like ever. I didn't know that it was something just one woman started.
She started it. She was an abused woman. And the one day she just walked up and handed a lady a duck who was in a Jeep. And somebody videotaped it and it went viral.
Oh.
And that's how kindness was started.
Interesting. Duck.
And now all the car companies are doing it. I guess I don't know if it's Subaru or some name like that. They have moo cows they give out.
Moo cows?
Yeah.
Moo cow.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember which one that is.
I know, but every company now is starting something, and I'm like, you know what? The ducks weren't just meant for wranglers; they were meant for anybody. But it's stuck with wranglers.
The rubber cows are for Subaru.
Subaru, okay. Yep. I want one for my
rubber cow.
Yeah,
I'll get you a rubber ducky cow.
Okay. I have Jaws.
She has a shuck.
I have a shuck.
It's a shark duck. It's a shuck.
Almost like a shark.
And I have
less risky.
Who's those yellow people called? With the one eye.
The minions?
I have a minion duck.
That's cute.
Banana.
And I have my fuck off duck.
Everyone needs one of those.
Yes, they do.
And everybody needs a I don't give a duck.
Oh, God, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, you need duck off stickers.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm. Rhonda found a lucky duck in Louisville.
Did you really? How cool is that, Rhonda? Excellent.
You need to get a new Beetlejuice duck.
Nope, I don't want another one.
Oh, he was cool.
I know, but this Jeep's dashboard isn't as big. It would never fit on there.
Which is insanity because the one in your other Jeep was not big either.
No, but this one's smaller. You've seen that.
I did. Weird.
It's to keep it from putting too many ducks on there.
I'll stick them to the ceiling and everybody knows it.
Oh, we can get you one of those stuffed animal hangers and hang it up
The nets.
in the back, and
I had one in my old Jeep.
and then we can put rubber ducks in it.
You know what? I don't still have it because it was in the house. Ugh. I can get another one.
I'm going to get you an inflatable duck, but I'm going to inflate it when it's in your Jeep. And it's going to be ginormous.
No, we want a big one we can put on top of it at the Jeep shows.
Nope, I'm going to put it inside and inflate it. Good luck getting
I want a Jeep skeleton. A duck skeleton.
I was going to say, you had a Jeep skeleton.
Yeah, I did.
Too soon. Too soon.
It was bad. Poor baby.
Ooh.
Oh, gosh.
I mean...
What are we talking about next week, guys?
When you Kentucky stuff.
Oh, Kentucky stuff. Cool.
Yeah.
We can talk about lots of hauntings in Kentucky.
It's from your adventures from this coming weekend.
Yes, we're leaving Thursday because before all this stuff happened, I go to Briarfest every year, as many know. And I already had the tickets, and there's no way I'm giving up those tickets for what they cost. So we're headed to Kentucky on Thursday while Jeff mans the fort in the camper. But hopefully these two come along, and Mitchell.
You know we're coming along. Hello.
But it'll be nice, I guess. Dad says I need to get away anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to get back into the normality of things, and this is one of those big normalities for you.
Stuff is going to be hot as hell down there.
No, it's going to be cooler, remember?
No, I checked the weather today.
Oh, it's going to be normal?
Yeah.
Mm.
Bring swim trunks, people.
So, and I know you mentioned
swamp
it.
Ass heaven down there.
What?
It's going to be swamp ass haven down there.
Lots of deodorant. I know Mom mentioned it earlier in the hour, but if you are in the Linden area, July 21st from 1 to 8 p.m. at Schmelter Stony Acres, we will be at
Lobdell Road.
Yes, it will be an event fundraiser to try and recoup. It's just $10 admission. There's going to be food. There's going to be 3 bands. There will be 3 DJs. One will be from 103 The Fox. One will be from 98 FM KCQ. I'm not sure who the third one is right now, but we will post it when we know. There's going to be a
Dan Richards.
I already said 103.9.
Okay. Robert will be there, our cameraman.
Yep. So yeah, raffles, food. It is BYOB. So it'll be a lot of fun. It'll just be a good time to just hang out and eat food and, eat, drink, and be merry, all that good stuff.
Come out and let's have some fun together.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't ever get loose, and I'm getting loose, people. Let's go.
Ooh, kind of.
That can be taken in more than one way.
Not that kind of loose, Kelsey.
And we look forward to seeing everybody. And if we haven't met you, we still look forward to seeing you.
Yep.
And yes, Robert, it'll be good to see you too.
Yes. So July 21st, 1 to 8 p.m. Schmelter Stony Acres off of Lobdell Road in Linden. That's where we'll be. See
you all there.
That's right.
Okay. And on that note, I think we've run out of stuff to rattle about.
Yeah, this is our first show back. It's probably been about a month, almost. It's almost been about a month. So thanks for bearing with us. Thanks for sticking by us. For everybody that's been supporting, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. It means the world.
We really, really do. Without you guys, we wouldn't be where we're at right now, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. But we'll keep everybody updated on everything, and then we'll get back in the swing of things and start being our obnoxious, loving selves right here on Tipsy and Witchy. So Don't
And
forget.
if we see you at the benefit and you want to be on here, just let us know.
Yeah, yep. Make sure you get onto YouTube and subscribe to Tipsy and Witchy and hit the notification bell so you know when we're coming on. And follow us on our Facebook page. You can get our updates there too. So we love you guys. Thank you for everything. Have a great night. And you know the drill. Stay spooky.
We love you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.